Hello and welcome back to the Gaming 5. With 2016 behind us, I'm gonna do that thing that everyone basically does and do the top 5 games of 2016. Since I've reviewed each of these games personally, there will be an annotation link to each review during each listing for those on PC, and a link to each review in the video description below for those on mobile. Let's get started, shall we? Coming in early in the year, and kind of an odd one as it stands as more of an upscale, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD survived the test of time and moved me once again. Though it takes a safe route in many ways, it still defines one of the darker entries that manages to remind me why the Zelda series still remains one of my top franchises of all time, and also reminded me why I've never skipped a single home console main entry. As a person who enjoys a proper challenge, Dark Souls 3 finally found a better balance between trolling its players and actually presenting challenges of one's skill. Finding that this entry tested my might more often than my patience unlike previous entries, I not only found myself starting up a second playthrough, but enjoying the game far more than any previous Dark Souls game. If you like a challenge and don't mind clunky platforming, this might just be the finest monster hunting time you'll ever have. It's hard to fault the cinematic presence afforded by this franchise, though Uncharted 4 doesn't quite step away from overdoing this to top the franchise's greatest entry, Uncharted 2. That's not to say this isn't a damned fine experience, because it really is. Story? Check. Character development? Check. Mind-blowing graphics? Check. Gameplay? Not so check, as that part's a little generic, but pretty much the only thing wrong with the entire experience. In a nice contrast to number 5 on this list, this stands as the true rubric for how to bring an old game back to life, remaking it from the ground up. Not only was it incredibly refreshing to be reminded of the good old days of platforming, but also to see bright, colorful, lifelike, cartoony graphics brought to the PS4. It's the remake of remakes, looking brand new but feeling classic. Just be wary of its oversaturated Saturday morning cartoon humor. Clocking in at the number 1 spot is Metroid Prime Federation Force. Oh, you know your butthole puckered there for a second. Clocking in at the number 1 spot is my highest rated game of 2016 and probably one of the ones I enjoyed most, Forza Horizon 3. Essentially boasting everything an arcade sim racing game fan could possibly want packed into an expansive open world, Forza Horizon 3 is what can only be surmised as the currently near-perfect attempt. It looks beautiful, plays like a sped-up sim racer, and has more cars than you could ever want. Every racing fan owes themselves this purchase. So what are your top 5 games of 2016? Go ahead and discuss your top games of 2016 in the comment section below. Because I might jump in to totally disagree with you and create unnecessary argument over the mega importance of video games and whose choices are better based on brand and/or developer and/or platform. That's it for today. I'll see you next time for my last episode of the Gaming 5.